Hello YouTube, Tech Dragon here with my deck of the format. I promised to you guys a long time ago that I'd show you my agent deck, which I've gone through several variants. I've played Destiny Hero agents. I went back to the original agents, which ran Herald of Orange Light. I played Birdman agents. I played TG agents. I've tried just about every variant so far. This is the one that I found that works, which I was actually playtesting last format with only one Earth. It was fairly consistent actually, even with just the one Earth and still running 3 Hyperion. So, yeah, let's get in the deck. First up, monsters, 3 Shine Ball, Sangan, Knight Assailant, and 2 Tour Guide. Obviously, the 2 Tour Guide and Sangan, and as the third target for Tour Guide, I run the Knight Assailant. Yeah, I like having the extra target so I don't have a dead Tour Guide or something dead left in my deck. So,
It's also good for destruction.
yeah, it's also a nice flip effect. So you can set it, opponent attacks into it, destroy a card. Can really throw people off some games, and it's almost never dead, even if you draw into the Knight Assailant.
Lagia hate.
Yeah, Lagia hate. 3 Venus, pretty standard. I know a couple formats ago people were only running 2, but now with only 2 Earth you kind of have to run the 3. Thunder King, I'm not quite sure about this card yet. It's just because I had 2 spots left. It's nice spot negation and an extra beat stick. That's a light for the deck. I'm still deciding whether I want the Thunder King or the Cyber Dragon. So let me know what you guys think on that. Thunder King or Cyber Dragons?
Cyber Dragon is nice because you can sync with Earth.
Oh yeah, and my friend WJ Keating is recording for me. So
I'll throw in random commentary.
yeah, 1 Honest because of all the lights. It's just kind of a staple hand trap, especially for agents. 1 Gores. You wind up the deck doesn't run any spells or traps, or not any spells or traps, any traps. So you'll never have to really worry about him being dead because there isn't much you're gonna wind up setting. So yeah, Gores is almost always live in this deck. Plus he's a dark, which is helpful for BLS. BLS, you have the Tour Guides and Tour Guide, Sangan, Knight Assailant, Gores, and 2 Tragodia as your dark targets, so you'll never have a problem with getting darks in the grave. I've never had BLS be dead. And for the last of the darks, I run 2 Krebins. I like the emergency teleport engine. I only run 2 Krebins to emergency teleport because 3 I find gets cloggy, and even at 2 I usually wind up drawing into Krebins and having one of the emergency teleports be dead. So I just kind of set it mid-game, thinking, having my opponent think that I only run the 1 trap, that being Treacherous Trap Hole. Okay. 1 Archlord Christia. 2 gets a little cloggy, especially with its when it's destroyed effect, it can clog your draw. So 1 is fine. That's all you really need to lock down your opponent's summons. Because once you can lock it down, if you have a way to continuously destroy cards via usually Hyperion, which I run 3 of, your opponent isn't going to have many options, seeing as how all they have is their normal summon and setting spells or traps, which by that point, if I can pull that lockdown off, they're not going to have many spells or traps left because they spend a lot of resources stopping other things. 2 Earth, because we finally have 2 Earth. It's the searcher for the deck. It's really consistent. I would actually consider dropping 1 Earth, but the only reason why the second one's in there is because it's another Hyperion banishing target. 2 Effect Veiler. As everyone knows, Inzectors are dead. Well, everyone believes Inzectors are dead. Because, trust me, if you want to see that deck profile, I can upload that for you guys too. The non-dead version of Inzectors, which if you really wanted to surprise people at your locals or regionals, or even a YCS, you could play Inzectors and no one would have the side against you. But, yeah, just 2 effect valor. You still need the effect negation, but not as much as you did when Inzectors were tier 1. 3 MST, pretty standard. My personal favorite part of the deck, 3 Upstart Goblin. You wind up putting so many beat sticks on the field between synchroing, exceeding, and putting Hyperion Chrystias and BLSs on the field, and even Trigodias that have 24 attack. You don't really have to worry about giving your opponent life points. So this just adds to the consistency of the deck. So yeah, Upstart Goblin is absolutely amazing in this deck. I'm surprised no one has put it in before. 2 Pot of Duality, you can only play 2, so obviously agents ran 3 when you could run 3, they'll run 2 when you can run 2. Swing of Memories, this is a proxy for Emergency Teleport. I don't have it yet. I'll probably be getting it the next time I go to my locals. And now the staple spells and traps, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Mind Control, because you run 2 Valor, 2 Krebins, and 2 Earth for tuners. Plus you can exceed with a lot of stuff, so if your opponent leaves a monster on the field, it's just an excuse for you to take it and then exceed or synchro with it. And then the Monster Reborn. The entire deck is 41 cards. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 monsters. You guys can do the math for how many spells I run, but the amount of spells I run isn't not really important. On to the extra deck. I run 1 Gachi Gachi and 1 Diagusta Phoenix. I do not run Dark Mist, only because I don't like wasting all 3 of my Shine Balls on one rank 2 Exceed monster. Although I have found the need for it, sometimes I've never needed it enough that I wish I had played it over Diagusta Phoenix or something else in my extra deck. 1 Zenmaines with Tour Guides and Venuses. This guy's really easy to get out, and it's just a great stall card, so in case you do dead draw, which this deck, it does happen to this deck, not often, but it does happen, so you can always bring out that guy and then usually stall long enough to get whatever you need to win. 1 Leviair, with all the banishing between Hyperion, BLS, yeah, I think that's it. Hyperion and BLS, you'll easily have targets to special summon back. Plus you can get your opponent's Rescue Rabbit and then exceed with that, which will really screw them over, especially if they can't recycle it. It really pisses off rabbit players when you steal a rabbit. And 1 Leviathan, just a 25 or beat stick. It's pretty much staple in all the extra decks now, especially if you run rank 3s. 1 Armory Arm, just good cards. You run a lot of 2s, so it's easy to get a level 2 tuner and another level 2 normal monster, which is going to be your Shine Balls. So it's just really easy to bring out. I've OTK'd with that card with BLS, probably twice. It's just, you bring out BLS, then you Armory Arm, and your opponent has to deal with a 4,000 attacker that can attack twice. And even when it's a face down, or no, not face down, face up, you can still OTK them because they'll take damage to their attack. So I can say my opponent has Stratos on the field. I can BLS with Armory Arm equipped. They take the battle damage plus the equivalent attack, so they take 3,000. No, they take 4,000 for that, and then another 4,000 direct. So that's a game with just BLS and Armory Arm, which is absolutely amazing if you can do that. Similar things can be pulled off with BLS and Honest. Back to the extra deck. 1 Catastor. You can sync for 5 relatively easily too. It's also a very good card. one Gaia Charger. You can synchro into 6 very, very easily. I find myself always needing another level 6. So I just run the Gaia Charger because you don't have Bionic anymore. And for the other level 6 I run Orange Dragon just because synchros are going to be seeing a lot more play, I think. Because Spore came back, people will at least try to play Plant Synchro or other decks. Even Agents, they can bring out Synchros relatively easily. So just being able to banish that is very helpful. One Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I'm up in the air over this card whether I want to run this or Ancient Fairy Dragon. I like this because you can obviously get a huge advantage over that and easily OTK with it. But the downside to it, it needs a light tuner, which means I need to sync with Earth. So another reason why I'm considering Cyber Dragons. Also, Ancient Fairy Dragon is easily more accessible, and with Dark Worlds and Gravekeepers possibly making a decent comeback, I would expect Ancient Fairy Dragon to be seeing some play. Plus, you can special summon a monster, a light fairy type monster from your hand, I believe.
Any level 4 or lower.
Any level 4 or lower, which is absolutely invaluable to this deck because you can Earth and then get the Venus that you added to your hand and then special summon it. And then the staple Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, and Mistworm, all pretty staple synchro monsters. And then one Chimera Tech. I run this just because I had the extra spot, and I'm still, as you know, deciding whether I want to run Thunder Kings or Cyber Dragons in the main deck. So with Gear Gias, this is definitely viable. That's it for the deck. If you have any questions, comments, leave a comment below. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Tech Dragon out. Peace.
And one more thing.
What?
I'm going to defend this deck because you made it 10 minutes ago.